Hey, it's Corey. So psyched to be here today. Jump on, say hello, let me know you're around. So I'm super excited because I just created this amazing guide that I want to share with you all to help you so that you feel less like a ball in a pinball machine getting knocked around and throughout the day, every day, by different situations, different people, different things that come up. So join me so I can walk you through this. And I also put a link to the guide so you can also grab a copy of that. And I'm just gonna share over to my group real quick. So let me know you're there and we'll get started. All right, so I have been doing this work more intensively the last, probably since about April, and more specifically the last probably month or two, and it has had amazing results. I can't tell you how phenomenal it is. And that's why I created this guide so that you can use the guide and do the same work and experience some massive transformations in your life as well. So, sorry, 2 more seconds. Okay, so what I want to talk to you about is this idea of how most of the time we are operating as if we are pinballs in a pinball machine. So you wake up in the morning, maybe you wake up late, and so you're kind of running around. Maybe your kids are not eating well, or not wanting to get dressed, or you get in a fight with your partner, or you're on the way to work and someone cuts you off. You get to work, someone criticizes you or makes a rude comment. So all day long, you're just kind of bouncing around, right? And most often, all these little things are starting to like hook their claws in you, right? So by the end of the day, you haven't dealt with any of these things. I mean, you've noticed them and you try to just kind of keep moving. By the end of the day, all of these things have their claws in you and all of them start to accumulate. So by the end of the day, you start losing your patience. You maybe create an argument with your partner or a friend. Something else happens because you've just stored all this negative energy throughout the day because you haven't, for one, truly acknowledged all the things that are triggering you, and 2, you've let them own you instead of you switching the power so that you're in control and you're not letting them impact you. And so what I mean by this is a lot of times these things happen, right? So you get maybe some negative feedback or someone, even not even just you getting negative feedback, perhaps you see someone having success, the success that you want, and you're not having that success. So that starts to put a hook in you and a claw in you. And so you start to create the story as all these things happen. Oh, I'm not a very good business owner. I'm not a very good parent. I'm not a very good partner. All of these things keep adding up and your story gets more developed throughout the day. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough, intelligent enough, experienced enough, energetic enough, thin enough, whatever it is. So at the end of the day, you have this belief that all these things went wrong today, there's something wrong with me, right? And then that's how you start the next day, already from the bottom of the barrel of something's wrong with me, I'm not good enough, and I'm basically never going to get it figured out, right? And then you go through the day, get pinballed around again through all these different situations, different people, and you start again. And this is your scenario, right? And this is not just your scenario. This is a lot of people. The majority of people go through their life this way, right? Because everything that happens when it's just sort of brushed off and not explored to see what the root is, it becomes your identity, right? So your partner doesn't want to have sex with you. Your friend doesn't want to go out with you. 2 friends are starting to make plans without you. Your mom starts to critique your business or your relationship, whatever it is. And so all of these things, instead of looking at them as if they're outside of you, you look at them as if they're a mirror and showing you, look at me. My gosh, no one wants to be around me. No one likes me. I'm not successful. I'm failing. I'm a loser. And so you build up all this sense of shame and humiliation, and that becomes your identity. And when that happens, basically your shadow is running your life. And that happens over and over and over. And then the more you operate from that space of something's wrong with me, I'm not good enough, the more you create more of those experiences in your life. And this is actually how I was. I used to say to people, "Oh, I'm just so sensitive," and that was my big thing. I was so sensitive, and I was like, I let every little thing affect me and knock me down, and I would, again, at the end of the day, be spiraling of all the things that I let impact me. So the work that I've been doing now for the last 4 to 6 months has helped me totally transform my life, so that now I'm not knocked around. Now I'm the one going through life and letting things basically like tick, tick, but they bounce off. They don't affect me. They don't knock me down, and they don't take me out. And that's why I created this guide, so that you can help, so this guide can help you if you're the type of person, which I think most people are, that gets triggered and then notices it tends to impact your internal state of being, right? So instead of, "Oh, they didn't invite me to the party." Okay, so it's not about me. Instead of having that response of, I'm okay whether I go to the party or not. I'm the party. I don't need someone to invite me for me to feel like I'm the party. Instead of having that sense of true ownership of who you are and power, your sense of self gets knocked down. Like, why didn't they invite me? Why don't they like me? And again, we start to spiral. So I put a link to the guide below, and what this guide does, it helps you identify your triggers. And so what I've been doing is either as they come up, write down the trigger and go through the steps in the guide. Hey there. Or what you can do is just make notes throughout the day of all your different triggers. And then when you have, 5 minutes, like sometimes when I'm in my car before I go to a meeting, I'll just sit down and go through the steps in the guide, so that what you're doing is you're alchemizing your shadow. You're letting the shadow have its say, and then you're showing the shadow that you don't believe it. It's full of lies. And then even further, you're showing the shadow the truth. And then the most important step is you are ensuring that you actually believe the truth before you move on. So those are the steps in this Master Your Energy guide, because if you don't believe the truth, you're going to fall back into believing the shadow and believing the lies. And so that's the key element, is you have to make sure before you move on to the next trigger, or just finish the process, that you actually fully 100% beyond a doubt believe yourself. So when you do this, everything changes. Guaranteed, everything changes. When you become the master of your internal state, when you master your energy, nothing can knock you down. You're unshakable, you're unstoppable, and having that high internal vibration and sense of high regard for yourself no matter what means you are attracting more of that into your life. You are raising your standards for how you carry yourself, what you believe, what you say, the conversations you have, the type of people you're around, and of course your internal world will always be reflected in your external world. And that is why this work is so important, and that is also why my life has completely transformed from doing this work. Absolutely transformed. So the guide is linked below. It's on the link that says Be Unstoppable. Of course, if you have questions about it and want me to walk you through it, feel free to reach out. And if you are ready to do this work, to transform your life, to stop being that pinball, getting knocked all over and wondering why things aren't changing in your life, please reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you more about what working together looks like. And until next time, make sure you are out there speaking truth and holding yourself with the most positive high regard possible. Cool? All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.